to the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast. This is episode number 124, and again, this is coming at you a little later than planned, but still hitting that Monday stride. The check for the rent, it's late every week, but it's on that 3-day grace period, which if you've ever lived anywhere where you were tight for rent, you got to know the fucking local rules and regulations and stretch that shit. But that's a little bit of a veering off, of course, because this right here is the week that Season 3 of Warzone 2 will be going live, and with it, we will be seeing maybe our most monumental, significant changes we've seen thus far in the history of Warzone 2. And I know there's some stuff that I believe you probably want to get into. So without further ado, Cowboy, how was your week in the Warzone this week?
Well. My week in the Warzone, I did play, I did get a win, and I did think about never playing again.
Wow.
So, yes, it was
Rewarding win.
It was pretty fun. It was frustrating, mostly frustrating.
What guns were you rocking that round?
So I actually built a tac loadout because I had been sniping a bunch, but I just have been whiffing my snipes. And yeah, the Signal 50 is great and all, but it's especially on Rebirth, it's a harder. I'm just not as it's tough. You know, it's no, let's just say Car 98 on Rebirth Island. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big old hunk of metal that's hard to wield around. Even though I'm pretty used to it. But so I got the TAC and a Vaznev loadout built out.
TAC 56, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Obviously.
Well, TAC V is, especially before some of these nerfs and buffs, a very popular item.
Is it? I haven't really seen people using it.
I mean, it got nerfed, but during the RPK's heyday, there were some streamers that would rock it. It had a little bit more recoil, but kind of packed more of a wallop. I think it had the higher TTK. It's a smaller magazine, though, but yeah, anyways. TAC 56, popular gun. Finally on the train, Cowboy is 3 seasons in nearly.
Well, I just wanted an AR that I could rely on. You know, sometimes you need the AR, especially with like a late game if you're trying to hold a roof or something. A sniper is not, it's too hard for schmucks like me. So yeah, I was running the TAC. I basically have like a Vaznev high alert loadout, a Signal 50 high alert loadout, a TAC high alert loadout, and then all combinations of those Vaznev, and you know what I'm saying. So yeah, that's kind of my loadout. Kind of stale and boring, you know, but what isn't about the game. But yeah, so how was your week in the Warzone? Tron.
Sorry, muted myself there while I was tending to some clerical issues. But that said, my week this week in the Warzone was fairly minimal. I think you and I ran like a game and a half. But, kind of fun to be back with the squad. Definitely, again, as you said, like my feet ain't been wet for a while. I don't got those sea legs. A little bit of stuff to deal with. And I guess, though, so the big focus of today's episode is, of course, Season 3 details going live, specifically the release date, which we didn't know about last week. It's officially now April 12th, which is 2 days from the date of this release. An addendum last week, I was like, oh, maybe it's April 1st or the 15th. Well, last week, I think that episode was recorded after the 1st, so silly me there, Cowboy. But yes, it's April 12th. Anyways, before we dive into Season 3, there was some news that went live this week, which I guess according to your tinfoil hat fucking jagoff theories should affect me. And that's that they gave a big old Ricochet anti-cheat update saying they have all these new things to fuck over the cheaters. And specifically, though, they were banning Cronuses. So literally every like streamer in Warzone did the same exact joke, which was just so fucking hilarious, which was like, oh, looks like I'm retiring from Warzone. Ha ha ha. Anyways, just so fucking the originality in this community sometimes astounding. But that said, what is your take on this news, Cowboy?
I think that there is certainly a correlation between you playing less and the Cronus getting banned. So I just will put that out there for listeners. But I mean, I didn't notice it being less sweaty. If that, I don't know. I still found reasons to complain.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And
I think
blame
it's
it
a
on
good
cheaters.
step. Yeah, always blaming it on cheaters, and how the fuck did I mean, it's
He's cheating.
They're always cheating. They're cheating every fucking time. So yeah. I mean, aside from that, I didn't really notice a difference, to be honest. I don't know. We played some big map actually this week too.
Nice.
Got into the mini royale trios because we found ourselves in a trio situation and mix it up, and it was pretty fun actually. It was nice to play something different. But no, I wouldn't say that I noticed a big change. Did you in your game and a half notice? I mean, other, not like your gameplay, because we all know that's impact. I'm talking about other players killing you quick.
No, but in the community, a lot of skepticism, blah blah blah. But then as it rolled out, it was like, I don't know how legit this is, but like screenshots of like cheaters sharing in their discords or whatever, like looks like it actually is happening. Like they get this notice. It says like unsupported hardware or something, and then I think you get a warning, I guess, and then if you use it, still you get banned. And there's also, I guess, a legitimate use for like Cronuses, like they're intended for folks who have some like accessibility issues. So I guess like it's more people abusing them. I don't know. It's a weird thing. But I think it's awesome. I didn't realize that Cronuses could be banned. I think it's surprising that it's been this. Ricochet's been out for some time now. They're just now like deciding to unplug that cord that they let these fucking people use, like for all this. I don't know. I think that's
where did that come from?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they do it earlier?
Like that's gonna get, I guess, bring the sweat level down. I don't know. So that to me was interesting. But yes, let's dive into it though. Season 3 going live in 2 days. Big news accompanying that. But the question is really at the top. I'll just pose it up front. Like this college thesis paper here is like, is this too little, too late? But more so is to channel one of the greatest, characters in cinematic history, which comes from literature. One of the greatest films, I would argue, of the 21st century, Cowboy. That's No Country for Old Men. I'd like to channel Anton Chigurh here, who says, let me find the quote here. It says something like, if the choices you made led you to this point, what were the fucking worth of those choices, Cowboy? I'm going to pose that existential question in your mind as we
Can you deliver that a little clearer? Because I don't know what the fuck you just said.
All right, let me find the quote. Here we go. All right. So I hope you cut that out, actually. But anyways, he says, basically, if the rule you followed brought you to this, of what use was the rule? Like, to me, what if all these choices now that were made in season 1 and 2, and now we're here, what the fuck was the point of all of that? That's the existential question I want to pose at the forefront of your mind here.
I'm not what a lot of people would consider a deep individual. Intellectually, I'm not what a lot of people would say is competent.
You go deep, though.
I do, but I mean, by physicality and nature, I'm constantly going deep. So I'll try one more time to go deep. I think if we're talking about the choices, every decision that anyone ever makes, the answer to all your questions is money. And I think that all these choices around trying to optimize whatever in fucking getting money in their pockets, whatever the fucking, and maybe this all goes back to that merger that we talked about months and months and months ago, where, maybe this has been put on the back burner and the acquisition, and again, that would be like a fucking straight up money situation. It's the root of all the issues they have. So you want to get into this fucking deep psychological dive. I just think that all these choices they made were centered around the wrong reasons from like a community player perspective, and now we're fucked. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. You're taking this from a direct kind of standpoint, not going deep, stratospheric, metaphysical, which I understand, and that's kind of the yin and yang of this program and our dynamic. So let's just dive into it, though. We'll answer these questions, perhaps yours, how money motivated it, or mine, what the fuck's going on here. But the big news, high level things here with season 3 was like, okay, it's all framed around these characters from the campaign, Valeria and Alejandro. Alejandro works, he's a Mexican law enforcement official, basically badass character from the campaign. Valeria, also badass, works for the cartel, I believe. And everyone was like eager to use these characters right out of the gate when the game went live, off the heels of the fucking campaign. But now, 3 seasons in, we get them, Cowboy. How hyped are you for that, dude?
Yeah, I'm psyched out, dude. I'm very excited. I'm so happy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm stoked for people that are excited about this, but to me, again, like, why wait this long? If you want to get people excited about unlocking and using or potentially purchasing campaign characters, then you should have released them close to the campaign. Like, if out of the gate Warzone 2 had these operators, I bet they would have sold pretty fucking well.
100%.
So we'll see. But that said, let's move on. The big news, which they've been alluding to since I think Modern Warfare 2 in Warzone 2 even went live, was the classic guns. We've talked about it on this podcast. I schooled you in the history of COD and 2 of the most beloved Modern Warfare
Schooled
games.
me you schooled me.
Oh, I took you to school. And the most beloved guns, or OP, you could call them, both were the ACR, which was an AR, and then the intervention sniper rifle. Well, guess what? One of them is officially coming back. You're going to be able to get your hands on it in 2 days' time here. It's now called the FJX Imperium Sniper, formerly the Intervention. The big question was, will this one-shot, will this fucking thing do what we want snipers to do, the whole reason you run them? And we actually got confirmation, maybe serendipitous, we recorded this late, Cowboy, because we would have missed it otherwise. Today, data recording, they confirmed that one-shot sniping is returning with Season 3. So what are your thoughts on this new Imperium, Intervention, and Revolution or Devolution back to one-shotting?
I mean, yeah, it's great. A lot of the joy that I've had in this game, which has been sparse of late, but going back to the days where we were excited and, feeling it deep, was, it was one-shot sniping for me. That was the single greatest feeling that you could have while playing the game, was just fucking hitting somebody in the face with a fucking bullet. And, for them to bring this... you've said this probably like 3 times this episode already. It's like, what took them so long? Why was this gone for so long? And yeah, so I'm fucking very excited about it. Again, no brainer. Hello, yes. So I'm excited. I'm assuming you agree this is a good move.
Yes, I do. I think it's a great move. I think that's the whole point. As we've talked about, the essence of sniping is it should be, one shot at a time you got to take. But if you hit the shot, you're rewarded thusly. They kind of capped that reward, eliminated a huge aspect of the game, a huge swath of players who literally love to play that play style, and just gone for no reason, begged for. They gave little fucking crumbs, accidentally releasing it and then patching it days, like hours within fucking finding it out. And then the stupid, as we said, pot of gold back in March, which is about to be a month away from where we're at now. And now it's coming back. So again, back to the question, the No Country quote. What was the point of outlawing all this time? What did you do other than fucking alienate people in the community? I'm glad it's back. I'm excited. I hope people out there are excited. I hope it brings people back, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to bring people back, but I think it's going to be fun. I don't know. There's not much more else to say. I think it'll be fun, but
Yeah. So are you gonna immediately equip a sniper? What are you gonna run, dude? When this goes live, one shotting's back. What are you fucking running? Assuming like
all snipers?
sure.
It'd be the Signal 50 for sure because you don't have to re-ADS after each shot. That's a no-brainer. Yeah, I mean, if that gun becomes that, I mean, that'll be the meta immediately.
Okay.
Which I don't know if it'd be a good thing if that's the case, but yeah.
So yeah,
immediately
the way the tweet was worded is one of these changes will excite operators who took a trip over the rainbow this past March. Expect the return. Jesus. Please edit that out. Expect the return of one-shot sniper rifles under certain attachment and platform conditions as part of this season update. So it sounds like, I don't know, maybe there'll be a multitude of snipers that can do it, or all of them can if you do a certain combination. I don't know. I think the Signal 50 got to be capped to be some. Otherwise, again, everyone's just going to run it. But that's sniping. That's the new gun. And there's also a Squall battle rifle that's going to be coming. Don't have a ton of info on that one yet. We got to imagine there's going to be weapons tuning. So we'll see if the Hemlock now finally knocked off its perch and where the MP5 goes. What is going on with the weapons tuning? But then they announced Resurgence, been part of Ashika Island. Well, they're bringing it to Al Mazrah. Al Mazrah Resurgence, going to be a new game mode. What are your thoughts on this, Cowboy?
What is the new game mode? I need more information.
Resurgence.
Oh.
But on Al Mazrah.
Oh. Yeah, whatever. I feel like
150 players for this one.
Wow, that's actually a lot. Full map? No, can't be full map.
Really? I believe so. Says fans of the fast-paced Resurgent mode will have a new version to look forward to, in addition to Ashika remaining in the mode, or remaining an option. This new version, called Massive Resurgence, is on the Al Mazrah map. Player count will be increased to fit it, so prepare to take on dozens of duos or other squad sizes, depending on the weekly playlist offering.
Well. I like the sound of that. That actually would be... Okay, yeah, no, that sounds good. That sounds fun, especially with a one-shot headshot sniping situation. That's something I could get into.
I remember they had the Resurgence modes on... I mean, they had them back in the day on Verdansk, I remember, and then Caldera. I feel like they weren't that successful, but it was... I feel like back then they didn't go this route of making it massive. It was just like more contained. You were only like... It was just like a small circle randomly assigned on the map. Whereas, and I remember we would talk about like, well, it would just give you shitty areas. So it'd be like the Resurgence was kind of stupid. Be like fighting out in the woods or something like that. That's not really what Resurgence is built for. So to me, having the full map, if it's more well thought out, or like the way it rotates, stuff like that, or they got some other tweaks to it other than it's just like a straight copy. I don't know. Either way, I think it's cool. Give us some options, something a little less hardcore, like in between. I feel like on the gradient of like hardcoreness, it's like, oh, Mazrah is a big commitment. It's, you get the one life. Then you had Rebirth, which was pretty far away from that. I feel like this new Resurgence on Al Mazrah is kind of going to be in between that.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So that's cool. And
yeah, I guess it's cool. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
And speaking of like, some people who want to play this game maybe not lose their fucking mind and want to slit their wrists or just like quit video games forever and ask themselves like, fuck the podcast, or like, I don't know, is Plunder. Plunder is coming back.
Ooh, to be honest, I forgot they even got rid of it, but that's just me.
Yeah, Plunder, not right away. It's going to be mid-season. Something, again, we had before was taken from us, now has come back. Our dad gifted us a puppy at Christmas. Then on our birthday, we were bad, so he fucking sent it away to, your mom's house over in Washington State. And then now you got straight A's, or you kick the winning field goal, and your dad says, hey, look, the fucking dog's back. Plunder's back.
Your fucking dog's back, boy. Wow, you have You got serious
Celebrate
issues.
this, god damn it. Okay, he's not back right now though, actually. He's coming back in a little bit later this month.
You fascinating childhood that you allude to here. I'm curious what your upbringing was like. It's really interesting.
All right, well, let's move along here. Details will be coming along. They're coming out there if you're interested in it. They're making some tweaks to it, but Plunder is indeed coming back. But finally, we got to talk about it. It's part of the catchphrase. It's the birthplace, resting place, domain of the amateurs. You know, you were merely fucking born in the muck. You adopted it. We were born in that shit. That's the gulag, baby. There's a brand new gulag coming. It looks like fucking Guantanamo Bay almost. Get your last duels in the first gulag, Warzone 2.0 gulag now, because in Season 3, you're entering a new gulag on Al Mazrah. It's known as a black site, the black site, which is separate from the... Oh, my Christ. This one's known as the black site, one word, but it's different than the black site, two words, which is what we know from before. A training ground, blah, blah, fucking blah. It's roughly rectangular, asymmetrical, has several interior spaces and long external routes. What are your thoughts on this new gulag? I got the photo up for you.
To be honest, I don't end up in the gulag very often these days because all I play is Rebirth. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it sounds
okay.
good.
I thought you were going another route with that.
No, I've given up on that whole, bullshit. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I think it looks interesting. I'm glad they're shaking it up. This new one's way stale, especially now that it's one player. I'll have to get my feet on the ground in there before I check it out. But I thought it has like a gulag aesthetic to it. Like it feels like a real place. If they were to have these two people fight and murder each other, like kind of like fucking, you ever see Deer Hunter, dude, when he gets captured in Vietnam, like, and they make him do all these crazy shit. This is giving me that kind of vibe, which to me, that's what a fucking gulag's supposed to be based on the game, the cutscenes they give you.
Yeah. Where do you get the Guantanamo vibes?
Oh, just like it's fucking rough and looks like they torture the shit out of people there, and like black site, dude. Like they said, this is where they fucking the rules aren't really applied here by the Geneva Convention. You know what I'm saying?
I see. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I see that. I see
people in fucking boxes. They play like songs over and over again. They fucking keep them away. I don't want to. It's too much, man. I'm getting PTSD.
You're getting PTSD.
Oh God. Okay. All right, let's move along. As Season 3 could be really called making a 180 back to fucking Warzone 1. Because we talked about going back to one-shot snipers. We talked about Plunder coming back. Well, guess what else is coming back? Those old redeploy balloons that have been only on Ashika Island are now coming back to Al Mazrah. Or not coming back, but coming to Al Mazrah, which I think they should have fucking been there to begin with. The bigger map should have been prioritized for that. But now that's a feature that's coming with Season 3. Redeploy balloons on Al Mazrah, Cowboy. What do you thought?
I like that a lot. I think this will actually really help the map. I think this is wonderful. Yeah, I think this is great. What about you?
Yeah, should have been from the get-go. It's a massive map, great map. Being able to use this as a new way to traverse would have been really cool, especially because helis in this new game are kind of dog shit. So having people fly through the sky, to me, more people is cool.
It is cool. It's very cool.
Anyways, the tempered plate carriers, a brand new item, is going to be coming at launch, Cowboy. It's another Caldera first feature. You remember? It's basically like acquiring the tempered perk, essentially.
Yeah, 2 for 3, basically.
It's called a tempered plate. Yeah. It's a tempered plate carrier. You'll be 2.5 bars, actually, instead of 3/3. What?
Why?
It says your armor will be 2.5 bars instead of 3/3. Why not just 2 and 3? I don't know. Maybe that's the math, and we're just whatever, making it easier and more efficient to replay. Those are coming. What are your thoughts on
that? Yeah, no. It'll be 2.5 bars instead of 3/3. So it's the same as it was. 2.
They just overly complicated that.
Yeah. The way they explained that was terrible. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense, and that's cool. I liked tempered. Why get rid of it? It was a good perk, right?
Yeah, we're back. We should fucking play this episode in reverse. Do like some voodoo shit, like the old Zeppelin albums, because that's what we're doing. We're just taking steps backwards, which I applaud these. These were changes. I don't know if I ever celebrated any of these being gone. I wasn't like, oh, fuck yeah, Tempered's gone, or like, oh, they got rid of One Shot, those fucking losers. I've been clear on what I like, dislike, so don't come at me with some bullshit. But don't worry, Cowboy. There's more shit from Warzone 1 coming later this season, Season 3. And that is decontamination stations are going to be coming back.
Really?
Yep.
That's incredible. That's great. I don't really even remember them. Can you?
All right. And one thing that's also at launch, sorry, got ahead of myself there, is UAV towers, which they used to be, remember those? You do the one, you buy 1,500 or whatever it was, you get a little blip in your location. That's coming back, but they're making some tweaks. They said a quick word of warning to those ready to punch into every tower on the map. Operators will receive an audible notification when it's activated and the icon will be visible. Okay, that's not a big downside that people are going to hear that you use them, I guess. But and then I guess they get to maybe see where the blip, if they're on the radar or not, I think is basically the new change.
Cool. It's basically like they have those little throwdown portable little, systems that are the little like semi-hexagonal. You know what I'm talking about? They're like the little half dome things that you throw down, and it's like gives you like a little mini UAV of this tiny surrounding perimeter. It's essentially the same damn thing. You just have to buy it now, and it's a mobile.
Yeah, it's the old towers. They had them at headquarters and stuff like that on Rebirth. Mm-hmm. Then there's a lot of stuff they claim is going to be coming in season. But before we get to that, I realized with that update on the One Shot coming out, there was also the news that buy stations are going to be moved to safer spots, such as indoor locations or places with nearby cover. And I think they were also going to they just said to make them more accessible. So they're going to be changing buy station locations as well on top of all this stuff.
Okay, great. New buy station.
So that's really the high level issues. There's some other stuff they alluded to that's coming later this season, but we're going to cover that next episode because I really want to focus on what to expect in 2 days when season 3 goes live. Those are pretty much it there. What are your feelings here, man?
You said that season 3 goes live in 2 days?
Yep.
That is exciting. A lot, I think, riding on this update in many ways for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they want to get people back. They're making the drastic changes that people have been begging and screaming for since season 1. It's literally a question of, will it be too little too late? I don't know how we're going to know. I'm curious, though, because the main thing on top of this, our final topic, well, actually, before we get to that, we got to talk about one sad thing we learned, which was just kind of embarrassing. Was there's a new Recruit a Friend program where Activision announced.
Oh God, why are we even talking about this?
You get some buddies of yours that aren't playing Warzone 2 anymore, that quit the game, you get them to come back. You yourself will get some rewards.
Yep. It's about as pathetic as it gets, right?
It's like, hey, man. It's like you ever watch the Gordon Ramsay, the restaurant disaster or whatever the fuck he fixes the restaurant? There's always like one where they'll have like a coupon they put out every week. And then they get these fucking people, they beg people to come eat at their restaurant. And it's sad. It's honestly just kind of sad. Like that this, like, what are they even going to give you? They're going to give you some shitty ass like sticker for your gun or something too. I don't even know.
It's extremely, extremely sad. It's pathetic.
But finally, the Recruit a Friend. The other thing they changed about Rebirth that you might have noticed this week, because we keep getting to the final topic, but I realize there's some more, is they shortened the amount of, like, when you knock off the Rebirth timer by doing something, they kind of nerfed that. So like you open a crate, it now takes off like only 1 second versus 2 or whatever it used to be. What are your, because they said that they were seeing too many teams late game, so they wanted to like cool down the field faster and resurgence on Ashika. What are your thoughts on these tweaks?
Yeah, I don't think it hurts, right? The quicker the better. I've noticed a few things, and I don't know if that's the only thing, but I've noticed a few things getting like seem to be sped up. But maybe I'm just tweaking out. But no, I think it's good. The faster the better. I think, and also like the community generally is like begging for quickness. You know what I mean? Everyone says this is clunky and slow on every level. So I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel. People in the community were actually kind of mad. They
Really?
They felt like it was penalizing you, and like they were claiming that now the lobbies are dead way too early. Like it'll be like third circle and there'll be like 5 teams.
Yeah.
So I don't have enough of a boots on the ground experience. Looking at it on the paper, it was like, oh, this isn't that drastic of a change. But from playing it, I realized it actually had gone live. It was noticeable, like waiting longer and feeling like, damn, our team has to hold on that much more. Which I think has its upsides and downsides. I'm curious if it's going to be the same exact mechanic with Al Mazrah Resurgence mode. But I think it's good to be tweaking with shit. We've said that. There's too much stagnant that they got to start pulling some fucking levers. And we got to hope some of those levers are good. They're pulling a lot this season. Again, now we're in April. The game released in November was November, December, January, February, March. We're 6 months into Warzone 2, and they're just now kind of like making it feel like this is a living, breathing, prioritized fucking battle royale.
Yeah. So what do you suggest?
Like this felt like this should have been like season 1 refresh or season 2 at the latest. A lot of these changes or additions, like bringing back, the zip lines and shit. I don't know. Again, game manufacturer guy extraordinaire moguls. We're also, separated from it.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. This does feel like this should be like we're expecting the first season update, reloaded update, and not the third season with all these changes. So I hear you.
And everyone's waiting with bated breath of like, well, are there going to be TTK and movement changes too? Because that's like kind of the big underlying issue people have had their problems with. Everyone, I think, is excited. They're hopeful. I mean, all these people fucking begging for Warzone 2 to be good. That's kind of the shame in all this is like, players want to play this game. Streamers want to play it. But again, you can't just cater the game specifically to their wants. So I understand it's not a tough solution, but I'm glad to see they're trying shit. I'm going to really try to make some time to jump in. I'm really curious to see the sniping thing. I think that's really going to help the game. But I hope it just doesn't make it outlandish to where now it's just fucking sniping simulator game.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I have no faith anymore. I don't know. I will see. I'm excited for One Shot Sniper.
The main thing, though, that's... Okay. Well, this one might enter... I don't even know the words I'm going for. Excite your little self and your little member is you love the ranked. They've talked about Warzone ranked coming. Well, it's now officially confirmed, big dog, that Warzone ranked is coming during season 3. Everyone's estimating season 3 reloaded. So ranked Warzone, is that not getting something inside of you going?
I guess, yeah, it'll be. I think that'll be more fun. Yeah, I think that it's a fun element for sure. Again, this feels like something that should have came with Warzone 2 when it was released like 4 months or 5 months ago or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I guess
so.
That's not coming in 2 days though, right?
No. During season 3, they believe season 3 reloaded is when it'll go live.
Got it.
So the question then I have for you, and they said more information will be available mid-season to consider participating in the World Series of Warzone qualifier, which the World Series of Warzone is now officially coming for Warzone 2. See if they can fill enough fucking lobbies to make it happen. Be interesting, if we can believe there's no Cronus involved. That's kind of dope. But anyways, back to Warzone. Ranked coming my question to you, Cowboy, which try and answer it your best now. I'm going to try to have you revisit it next week. Next episode is, what would you change? What would be your tweaks for Warzone ranked, like to make it a ranked mode?
I guess it's going to, what a tweak to improve ranked, you mean? Like, what do you mean by that?
No, like, so Warzone, if you go from Modern Warfare multiplayer to Modern Warfare ranked, it's like, okay, they culled down the weapons field. You're going to only allow a certain amount of weapons. You're going to only allow a certain amount of tacticals. Like, they got rid of X, Y, and Z. What would you kind of get rid of for Warzone 2 to make Warzone ranked? 2 ranked. Like, would you get rid of the fucking hell? People are imagining like they get rid of helis and then like certain equipment or, no dual wielding pistols or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting thought. Like, how is it going to differentiate itself other than just being like you do it and you track now your score? I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because Warzone's so much more complex than like that simple multiplayer game, Like if you get rid, I mean, maybe you get rid of UAVs, maybe you get rid of like certain perks, like high alert ghost, you make it really raw, I think that's probably something to do, or maybe you don't change it at all. It's just fucking Warzone and then you're getting ranked, Like why do you have to change something?
Make it more pure, dude. It's like fucking mono shit.
I have no faith that
you
if
lube
they
them up, you put them in the ring, you don't give them fucking bats.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I actually lost my train of thought. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. Why not just have a regular ranked Warzone? No changes. I have no faith in them to make.
I think you get rid of like vehicles. You get rid of certain optics. Even I think could be cool. Perks. I think that's a great note. I think that's definitely what they'll take a look at. Similar to Warzone rank or Modern Warfare rank having the perk limitations, field upgrades, tacticals. I think lethals are pretty fucking balanced. I don't know if they do anything there, but we'll see. No info about that yet, but the community obviously very excited. They want to grind this game, but again, they gotta hope these changes that are going live in 2 days make a big positive difference. Otherwise, it's all for fucking naught. But again, we said they gotta make some drastic changes. They gotta do something. They gotta shake up this snow globe. But get ready, it's gonna be snowing here.
Yeah, baby. We'll see.
And then our final topic, which, a timely topic here, is, as you've all heard and we've documented, and if you've been friends with us on Warzone, you've seen our time has gone drastically down if you were to compare it from months ago or a year, especially, playing regularly, hours, boyish fun, good times, laugh, giggles. Now it's limited. Game and a half I had this week or whatever it was, Cowboy limited. The question, I guess, is for you out in the community and know that for me, what's limited me is I got to fucking take care of these goddamn children. And, in the free time I do get when they're asleep, I got to spend it with the lady Tron. Not gotta, but, you only have so much time in a day. So the question is, like, I think we talked about this. Like, how do you make time to play this fucking game? I know you, Cowboy, you're not married. You don't have spawn, but you're an extremely busy individual. So, like, single or fucking babies alike, like, how do y'all find the time for this fucking game?
I mean, I only hop on when I have friends on. I never play this game by myself anymore, ever. It's only when someone, and it just happens to be in moments where if I have a break from something and someone texts and it's like, oh, anyone want to play? And it's like, oh, fuck. Okay, yeah, I'll go kill an hour. That's where it's at now. It used to be routine. Now it's more spontaneous. And I mean, I always have time to procrastinate on shit, Like, that's the best time. So I have plenty of that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have kids. I have a cowgirl, but I'm not married. So yeah, I mean, I can do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean?
Well, All right. But that said, trying to carve out some more time as they get older and more independent. I'm sure more time will lend itself, but definitely going to find some time for season 3. That said, we're out of time on this episode. That's going to do it for us this week on the Warzone Amateur Hour podcast. Season 3 in a few days. Get ready for the one-shots. Get ready to kind of blend Warzone 1 back into this beverage.
In the beverage.
Take a sip.
Suck it down.
All right. So good luck out there. We'll talk to y'all next week with impressions on this season. And until then,
good luck in the final version of this gulag.